What's up, everybody? Black Top Smack Talk here. Third video that we've done, but
it's the first one with all of us.
yes, that's what I was gonna get to. Adam here. Thank you guys for watching. But finally, it's been so long. So we started this back in November. It is mid-February, mid to late February. I finally got my brothers on here. You guys know me. You know, I've been the star, you know, your boys. Been the star of the show. No, I'm just kidding. You guys know me, I'm Adam. We got Sano. So now you guys can put voices, name to a face. You know, you guys hear our names all the time. We got Sano here, and we got Bruce Jackson, everybody.
Hey guys, it's me Bruce. It's me Bruce, just coming from California.
No, we got my guy Charlie here. Charlie Hustle, as he likes to be called. But man, this is real exciting. Sorry, our volume levels. We're trying out a new camera. You know, we're just kind of doing it on our own today. But man, welcome you guys. We're here. We're here together as a trio.
Ready to rock.
Damn, it's been a long time coming. There's been a lot of shit going on in the world of the basketball. Man, All-Star Weekend, you know, it's the second part of the season's about to come up. About 30 games or so.
Washington's own, Lake Chelan. Joe Harris.
Shout out to Joe Harris, winning the three-point shootout, beating Sano's guy, Steph Curry, in the finals.
He was going to lose to somebody. I'm glad it was a Washington native.
I was nervous, though. Curry hit those first 9, and I was like, oof, it's over.
Like, Curry he's doing Curry things.
I had Curry in the pool, too, man. I thought he was...
my gosh.
For all the people that entered the pool, we appreciate you. If you didn't win any money, that's too bad. Maybe next year, we'll probably do something for the playoffs, so keep your eyes open for that.
Playoffs and March Madness, so keep your eyes and ears open. But first, you guys have to subscribe to us on here on YouTube. Then you have to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. So nice little shout out prior. But first, actually not first. Now we're gonna talk about the MVP. It's been a hot topic amongst the NBA circles, NBA media. We are basketball media, so I consider now we have to talk about it. Today, there's 3 guys in our heads that we feel has a strong argument to be MVP. What we're going to do is each of us are going to go around and kind of discuss why we think, we're going to discuss amongst each other why we think our guy should be MVP. But first, do you guys have anybody, any guys that you want to shout out for MVP?
There's one guy, which I don't think any of us have, which I think he's going to get a lot of consideration, is Joel Embiid. I think he's going to get a lot of MVP. Not a lot, but he'll be up there in the final voting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just
top 5?
Yeah, I think he'll be top 5.
Who would be 4? One of the Warriors?
One of the Warriors?
Yeah, KD or Steph.
Over Jokic?
Yeah, I think so.
He's another sleeper candidate.
Jokic, I had Jokic in there. We had Curry. Obviously, Curry's killing. And then we have KD. Or as Charlie likes to call him, KT.
Katie Holmes.
We have LeBron, of course,
Who's probably the first time he's not going to be top 5.
Yeah.
And nor should he be.
And it's probably going to end, this might be the year his All-NBA streak ends.
Depending on how they
All-NBA first
Yeah,
time.
when they were top 4 seed, he looked like he was a top 5 candidate.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
And then he got hurt, and then the Lakers kind of...
I guess he does kind of show his value.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
Because now they're not even in the
So
playoffs.
if they finish strong, and they finish...
Right.
I don't even know.
But still, there's too many guys having too good of years.
There's Lillard. Lillard's been playing well. He's solid.
Dane Dollar,
4 seed.
4-bar Fridays.
Yep. And then Kawhi. Even though he's missed 16 games.
Yeah.
Yet they're still 13-3 without him.
You're right.
So,
Shout out to Nick Nurse.
but when he's out there, he's 27, 7.5, 3 assists. So it's not like he's bumming it up, but they're playing pretty well. So to start off our little segment, Charlie, who do you got?
I mean, just, before he even came in the league, I remember watching a little video from NBADraft.net and looking at it and seeing this kid over in Greece, like 6'9", 6'10", could handle, looked like he was playing against me. But I was like, this kid's going to be something special. I remember telling my buddy Jesse, and next thing you know,
he was telling us too, this is factual shit, you guys. It's not like we're making this
I was predicting him to be a star, but I'm like, this guy looks like something different.
Right.
But yeah, Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, I don't even know if I'm saying that right to this day. But, I got to go with Giannis for my MVP candidate. First and foremost, he's the best player on the best team in the NBA record-wise. I think we'd all agree that the Warriors, they had 2 games, they're the best record in the whole entire NBA.
Oh shit.
What's crazy is they're only 1 game behind how many total wins they had last year. There's 25 games left.
Damn, they were the 7th
They're
seed
43 and 14. Last year they only won 44 games. They already have 43.
That's crazy.
Right.
They
So
were
they're 1 game behind last year's win total in the All-Star break.
With relatively a lot of the same team. New coach is the difference.
Yeah, that is a huge difference.
Coach Bud has really, and what Coach Bud has done is basically put the ball in Giannis' hands and said, this is your team, run the show. Play point guard, play power forward, play small forward, play it all. And
he runs the team, well, he doesn't coach them. Giannis is put in the same position as LeBron has been used the last few years.
Or even Harden too.
Or Harden, yeah.
Right.
As like the creator, surrounding with some shooters.
Right. So which will lead into, they're the 2nd highest scoring team in the NBA, behind the Warriors. But the Warriors have 4, now 5 All-Stars. So that's expected that they would score that much, where the Bucks have 2 All-Stars, and one of them is a first-timer.
Yeah. Right?
Mainly because Giannis got him. If they weren't the number 1 seed, he probably wouldn't have made it.
Right. Played well in All-Star.
Yeah, he did. And one of the things that Giannis has done is that Giannis, I talked about this in a previous pod, that they lead the NBA in wide open threes, which is a 3-pointer attempted with the closest defender 6 feet away or more. And that's all because Giannis, you can watch video of Giannis drives, everyone converges down in the paint, and the whole team is wide open.
Right.
And if the first guy's not wide open, that second pass will get someone wide open, which has led to Brook Lopez shooting an all-time leader in threes. Brogdon, it's like Brogdon shoots 49% from 3 when Giannis is on the floor, 41 without. And then Brook Lopez is like 39, or he's like 38 with him on the floor, 31 without. Right. So it just goes to show that, and those guys make a lot of threes. Right. For example, so the Bucks shoot 23.5 wide open threes a game. In comparison, that's 11 more than like the Warriors. And we look at the Warriors as like a great passing team. They get, the Warriors are such good shooters, they don't need to be wide open. They can make them anyways. Right. Remember like a Brogdon, a Bledsoe aren't traditionally known as shooters like a Curry and a Clay, right? But these guys are making not as many threes, but as a team they are. Last year they were, some other stats, they were 27th in the NBA in made threes. This year they're on pace to make the 5th most threes in NBA history as a team.
Damn.
Right? And that's mainly because Giannis is just opening up the whole floor for everybody. Right? And it's crazy. Giannis, they're doing this and they're shooting all these threes and he can't shoot. Right? But I have something about that where, so in February, which has that many games, it's 8 games or so they played, he's shooting 37% from 3 in February, which is a step up from in October, he shot 6% from 3. Right. So he went from 6% to 14 to 22 to 30, and now 37.
So he's gradually getting better.
He realizes his weakness. Not on the off season, he's working on it in season. So maybe by the playoffs, it won't be that much of a hindrance for his game. Right. But he's averaging 27, 12, and 6, 1.4 blocks, 1.4 steals. If you go by his per 36, which I'll show you why, he's 29.5, 14, 6.5 assists, 54% true shooting percentage. And the reason I bring that up is his per 36, it's the only person in history to have those numbers for per 36. And he's 34th in the NBA in minutes. And he's having this productive of a season, being 34th in minutes. He's right next to Josh Richardson and PJ Tucker for minutes per game. And he's still being this productive.
What is it, about 34 minutes you said?
Yep, about 34 minutes, exactly. He's 5th in double-doubles. One cool thing is he's 3rd in the league in 2-point field goal percentage, behind Gobert and DeAndre Jordan. And Gobert and DeAndre Jordan combined points isn't as much as Giannis's, right? So he's 9th in field goal percentage. You have to go down to 17th to find another guy averaging 20 points a game. A lot of the guys that are up in field goal percentage are Montrezl Harrell. They average 14 or 12 or 11. You know, it's guys like that. And Gobert averages 14. Those are the guys that lead the league in field percentage, and he's right up there in the top 10. What else I got here? Yeah, I think that's kind of, like I said, they're the second highest scoring team in the NBA, mainly all because of him. You know, he's really unguardable.
Especially if he gets that three-point shot.
Right. So he's shooting 58% from the field, which is pretty crazy, considering not a big man. Out of the top 10 scorers in the NBA, the next closest field goal percentage guy is KD. KD's shooting 51%, which is impressive in its own. Mm-hmm. But it just goes to show that it's almost 7%, almost 10% difference,
right.
Field goal percentage, right? I mean, he doesn't shoot as many jumpers as KD, but he just shows he knows his limits and he gets to the cup. He gets in the lane, he can finish with either hand, he can Euro step on anyone, he dunks over people, right? And the other thing is he plays really hard on defense.
Right, and I was just going to say that they're the top ranked defense in the league. And
right.
him next to Brook Lopez, they kind of anchored that. So it'll be interesting how his case evolves or dissolves once they get they made a trade for Mirotic.
Right.
So
I think this would be a huge pickup.
Right.
I think that's going to help with him. He's injured right now, but he'll be
playing
soon, a week or
so
two.
he'll probably play center, and then Mirotic will go to the 4.
Right. And Mirotic, we've seen Mirotic already as a guy that can score 30 on a given night, 35 if he's hot.
Right.
Right? And he's a spot-up shooter. He's ruthless. He's relentless. He's not afraid to get him up. Right? And in a play, I mean, he can be that guy in a playoff series where game 3 was that Mirotic game where he let him up for 32. You know, whether they bring him off the bench or start him. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously we'll see how the playoff success is, but MVP doesn't really factor in with playoff success.
Regular season.
Right?
Regular season. I mean,
we know Dirk got MVP and then lost in the first round. Right? But, yeah, I mean, you know, usually it comes down to, Russell was the only player to get MVP and he wasn't like a top 3 seed, he was 6th. Mm-hmm. So if things hold,
he did something like
this, triple-double, right? Which now has been normalized, but Giannis has the best record in the NBA, so like the bottom line for me is best player on the best team. Yeah. And that's my case for Giannis. The Greek Freak, 24 years old, now you might as well give it to him now and let him start racking these things up, man.
All right. So now we have a controversial. I'll wait to go. We have a controversial guy in a sense, even though he's having a historic season. And Sano's really not a big fan. He likes him, but he's not a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of...
Discretion. Bruce is that he said that's the odds-on favorite. I slightly disagree. I think the rest of us disagree also, but
technically Vegas has him as an odds-on favorite.
Vegas, okay.
The betting numbers.
But it is James Harden.
Yeah.
So Sano's gonna talk James Harden reluctantly.
Reluctantly. I do think. I mean, obviously he's MVP worthy, right? Of course.
Shit.
I'm gonna read off some numbers, just some stats to start with.
So would you like Nick Wright?
Right. This is like Nick Wright.
No,
I don't want
that's
to Nick Wright though.
I'll be Nick Wright.
Okay.
You can be Nick wrong.
30.4 points per game, 8.8 assists, 5.4 rebounds, 1.8 steals per game. You said those are MVP numbers.
Without question.
That's last year's numbers for Harden.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say the points seem low.
Yeah, I was like, no way.
So listen, those numbers sound great. If I told you he's gonna average 6 more points per game at 36.6, he's gonna average 1.3 more rebounds per game at 6.7 rather than 5.4. His assist numbers went down a little bit to 7.7. He's averaging 2.2 steals per game, and not that this is a great number, but he's averaging 0.8 blocks per game, which
For
is
a guy
very high.
who's known as playing their defense.
Right. So, with that said, with that MVP year last year, to top that this year, he sets career highs in 3-point field goals made, 5.1 per game. His previous high was 3.7. So he's 1.4 more per game than his MVP year. Free throw percentage, 87. Free throws made and free throws attempted per game.
So that's a big factor. When you shoot 87 but shoot X amount of game.
Right. He shoots 11.6 free throws per game. He makes 10 out of those. These are all career highs. And everybody wants to talk about his defense. That was a big, you know, he's been the butt of jokes on videos and highlights and what have you. Career high in steals this year, 2.2 steals per game.
It's like second to third in the league.
Right? I mean, he's third in the league in steals, and he's up there with like 0.8 blocks per game, which not a lot.
For a guard, that's a good
guard.
one. Yeah.
Right. So on top, so like I said, Houston right now, last year's they're obviously top team in the
one
West,
seed, right?
So at this point last year they were 44-13. They're one of the I guess knocks against Harden this year you could say is they're 11 games worse. They're 33-24 at the All-Star break. But if you factor in that they started the year 11-14, and then Harden started going on his tear, since then they're 22-10. He's got them up to I think 5th in the West right now. This is with Chris Paul missing 23 games, Clint Capella missing 15 games, and Eric Gordon missing 12 games. So
Harden missing 0 games, huh?
Harden's missed 3 games.
Oh.
So I guess the argument you could say is if you're gonna give him the MVP based on his numbers last year, and he's gonna set career highs this year, increase his points by 6 points per game.
That's the Steve Nash thing.
What's the Steve
When
Nash?
Steve Nash got it the first year, and then he did better the second year, you kind of had to give it
You
to
kind
him.
of had to give it to him,
It's like,
right?
well, if you already gave him this and he did better,
Right.
how do you give it to someone else now?
Yeah.
Right, but go, yeah.
So then the only question that, like I was saying, is the wins. But you could attribute that to injuries. Second best player on the team is Chris Paul. He's missed 23 games this year.
Right, and how much is Harden averaging? 35 something?
36.6 points.
The most since Kobe.
Yep.
And
Most since Kobe, yeah. And I
he's
think
had how many
2000
consecutive games with 30 or more?
It's
30.
The streak that was.
Is it 30
He
straight
broke the
games?
record.
I thought it was 30 or
Well,
more.
it's not he's like up there with Wilt.
Yeah.
It's like the second most ever.
Well, Wilt's like
Wilt was
150
like
or something.
Wilt was like over 100, 174. I think was
And
Wilt.
I think another good case for him also is he was playing with guys like Gary Clark, some G League guys.
Oh, you mean Harden?
Oh, the guy.
Yeah, Harden, yeah.
Gerald Green.
Gerald Green,
He's
Isaiah
also missing
Hartenstein,
time.
yeah. So that's a real compelling case.
I mean,
Dang, 36 points a game is incredible.
and I wish I could say more. Basically, he's one of those players where you have to let the numbers do the talking for him.
Yeah.
His numbers are so ridiculous this year that it's like, if his team was maybe out of the playoffs, like LeBron, like they're like a 10th seed, 9th seed, whatever, you'd be like, okay, he's doing this on, to the detriment of his team. But since he started like this streak, like I said, they're 22-10 since that 11-14 start. So they're actually winning. They're not quite on the same pace as last year, but they're still a team I'm pretty sure no one wants to play in the playoffs.
Right, especially with healthy.
Right.
My guy Capella comes back next game.
Is he back?
Wait, not your guy.
Yeah.
It's his guy.
Yeah.
Not that Kenneth Faried has done the exact same thing since he's been put in that role.
Oh, man.
Kenneth Faried MVP?
He'll be up in the
He's in the
top
discussion.
50.
Man, back to back for Harden, that would be impressive. If he did win it, that would be, oof.
I mean, the second leading, so he's averaging 36.6 points per game. Second leading scorer in the league is
Paul George.
Adam's guy, Paul George. And he's
at
28. Yeah, 28.7.
8 points lower.
You know, I was just thinking about is if Harden gets MVP, this is something I've never heard anyone discuss, is how many, what coaches lead the league in MVPs? This will be the
What
fourth.
coaches coach the most MVPs?
This will be the fourth MVP for D'Antoni for a player that he coached. 2 for Nash,
Well, I was going to say
2 for Harden.
different players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Jackson obviously coached Jordan to 6, and he coached
Right.
Kobe to, Kobe got
Shaq won one?
Shaq got a couple probably. And Kobe
Yeah,
got
Shaq
one.
only has one.
But yeah, I mean, this will be the fourth.
Shaq and Kobe
Yeah.
have one each.
This will be the fourth MVP that D'Antoni's coached, which is impressive.
Yeah.
If he
It
wins
says a lot about that
system,
style,
yeah.
the system.
Now the whole NBA is 6 seconds or less, but he was
Yeah.
he was the
Right.
originator of
But
that.
they don't even play 6 seconds or less anymore. That's the cool part
Yeah,
about
they
it.
really don't.
Right.
They're extremely.
They dribble this.
ISO,
Dribble
pick
heavy.
and roll,
Yeah, dribble heavy.
pick and roll, spot in the shoot, and 3 other guys that's got to spot
Yeah. And dishing it to one of those guys is last resort.
it. Right.
If Harden doesn't have anything else, that's his last resort.
Right.
It's not like he's looking to kick it like Steve Nash was, in that offense with Phoenix.
Mm.
So that's my case for James Harden.
All right.
For MVP.
All right, before I go, man, getting kind of hot.
Oh,
man.
That's actually a bad memory, that shirt.
Oh, no, it actually when they won the gold medal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, excuse me, guys. My fault. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw who I'm picking. I'm rocking with PG. I'm rocking with Paul George.
I like R-rated movies. I don't know about PG-13.
I'm rocking with Paul George as my MVP. Okay, first and foremost, through 56 games, I'll piggyback what Sam's doing. 56 games, 28.7 points. That's a 7-point jump from last year, where he was at 21.2. 8 rebounds, career high. 4.1 assists, ties a career high. So he's second in the league in scoring. He leads the league in steals at 2.3. So he's hit 218 threes. He hit 244 last year. And he's shooting at a 40% clip on almost 10 attempts a game.
Wow.
He shoots 10 threes a game?
9.6.
Damn.
I believe it.
That's a high percentage for that, too.
Yeah. So those are the stats right now. In his last 20 games, mind you, he has Russell Westbrook who dominates the ball in terms of his usage is so much. He has his hand in everything that goes on with the team. In his last 20 games, Paul George has averaged 32.6 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 45% from three. Then if we want to look at metrics like on-off numbers, when Paul George is off the floor, they are a minus 11. So essentially, and then when he is on the floor, they're a plus 11. So that's a 22-point differential, which leads the NBA.
Right.
So his value. So when he's on the floor without Russ, they're a plus 10, almost 11 points a game.
Per 100?
Per 100. Yeah. Without him, they're 7.5 points worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. They're averaging, the defense is 100, per 100 possessions is 101.4 points a game, which is number 1 in the league, with him on the floor.
That's just with him on the floor, that's not the team.
I mean, yeah, that's with him on the floor,
okay.
With the defense. And then the offense is 111 points a game. So, like, when he's out of the game, they're 13.3 points less. On top of that, okay, so that's just the offense. And you can just see he's for better this season, he's the best player on OKC. And he's proven that. Crunch time, he's hit the big shots. He's taking control. You can see the comfort level and how you just feel, when you're out there and the game slows down, and you guys have probably had moments like this where the game slows down, you feel like everything's just moving at your own pace. Your shots are falling, your rhythm, everything. And that's the pace that he's playing at right now. He anchors the third best defense in the league. He leads the league in steals per game and total steals. And he leads the league in loose balls recovered. Right? And
that's a tough stat to find.
Yeah.
I just hear about it all the time. Then he's second in the league in deflections to James Harden. James Harden leads the league in deflections. And with him, they're 37-20, so they're third in the West. They're a game and a half behind Denver for the second spot, and they're 4 back from Golden State. If he continues at this trajectory, they're on pace to win 53 games, which is good for third in the West, because Denver's at 54. Will he get it being a third seed? Probably not, but he's right there. And with he's played against the best teams in the league. That's when his game catapults. He had 45 let's see, 45, 11, and 3, outdueling James Harden. While
I remember that.
While he was guarding James Harden, he held Harden to 7 points on 2 of 9 shooting. But you say, oh, well, he was guarding him all game. No, because they kept switching. Because Houston's offense,
right? Yeah.
So they try to find, they try to find the matchup that they like. He has 47 against Portland, with the team that's trailing them in the West, the 4 seed.
Was that right before the All-Star break?
Right, 47, 12, 10, and 3. He hit the game winner against Philly, 31, 6, 5, and 3. Milwaukee helped. He didn't shut down Giannis, but Giannis played one of his worst games of the season from the field. I mean, he ended up with like 25 or 30. But he had Paul George 36, 13, 3, and 3. So the bigger the game, granted it's regular season. I want to see him do this in the playoffs, but obviously this is a regular season award. He's been ready for the best teams.
Mm-hmm.
And here is the final thing I want to say about Paul George. Kevin Durant's MVP season. Per 100 possessions, he averaged 40.8 points a game, 9.4 rebounds, 7 assists a game. That's Kevin Durant.
Per 100.
Per 100. That was in a 2000, when did he win that? 14?
Mm-hmm.
2014 when he
He
won?
only got one?
Kevin Durant, yeah.
Oh.
Since January 17th, Paul George, per 100 possessions, so January 17th, about a month or so, 41.9 points,
Damn.
9.3 rebounds, 5.8 assists. He has a better steal rate than Kevin Durant, assists, and a better assist to turnover ratio. So Kevin Durant's MVP season, Paul George is right on par with that. And when KD won MVP, he was 28, 8, and 5. Paul George is currently 28, almost 29, 8, 4, and he leads the league in steals.
Right.
If the cards fell in his favor, he could possibly, I doubt it will ever happen, he could possibly win MVP. He's one of the front runners for defensive MVP.
Right. He'll be first team all day.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can make a case he could win most improved player.
Yeah.
Because of the 7-8 point increase.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's had this. His last month has been incredible.
Right.
It's like Harden type month, right? Where he averaged almost 40.
Right.
Right. So before a month ago, he wasn't necessarily in the conversation, and now he's like at the top.
I think over that, there's like a 12 game or 11 or 12 game stretch where he was like over 40 a game, and OKC was like 10-1 in those games.
Yeah. I mean, shit, his last 20 he's averaging almost 33.
Yeah.
So will he win it? Like, I would love to see it. They would have to do a lot, and he would still have to, the two that you guys talked about would have to kind of, they'd have to drop off, and plus they would have to get to at least the second seed, which, I could see them finishing anywhere between second and fifth, maybe, in the West, because their schedule moving forward, the last 30-some games is the toughest in the league, so.
I think Paul George has the same challenge as Harden, is getting the team
The records.
to get better.
Giannis
has that going for him.
Right. Giannis has his stats to back up his case. His team on both sides of the ball. They're one of the best offenses in basketball, and they're the best defense.
He's a catalyst on both.
Exactly.
I mean, last year I think they were like a 7 seed.
They were the 7th seed, yeah,
Right.
because they played Boston.
And his numbers, they've gone up, but not tremendously, not like Paul George's increase. But when your team goes from 7 to 1,
right,
and not just 1 in the East, 1 overall, that's
right. And OKC is, I mean, they were 4th last year. Now they're.
What did Paul George average points per game last year?
21 points. Like 21.8, something like that. 21.7.
He's at 28 point.
I was just,
28.6.
I was just thinking about
Harden's increase is just a little more than Harden's increase,
Right.
which is kind of crazy too.
I was just going to say, if Paul George was to get MVP, that's probably 3 MVPs from the same team in a 6-year span.
Right.
KD, Westbrook,
And
and
PG.
PG.
That, if he got it, which he might not be the odds-on
And a
favorite.
former OKC guy won it last year, Harden.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, OKC.
Well, those three won in 3 years in a row.
No KC.
No, wait.
No, it was,
Who won in 2015? LeBron?
No, he hasn't won one in a long time.
Oh, Curry.
Steph.
Curry
Yeah.
won back to back. That's right.
Oh yeah. That's why KD didn't do it.
Okay.
But yeah, I was gonna say the coach, but it was Scott Brooks before.
Now Billy Donovan.
Yeah, Billy, because Scott Brooks was the KD MVP.
Right.
Billy Donovan would
Yeah,
be
right.
the
Billy Donovan was
Russ,
Russell
the
Westbrook.
Russ and PG. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's one franchise drafting 3 MVPs and maybe trading for a 4th.
And what do they got to show for it?
And no ring. Hopefully never a ring.
Hopefully
But
never.
yeah.
Dang.
That's crazy though. It's crazy that all 4 of those guys, KD, Westbrook, Paul George, and Harden, all have their ties to
OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
By the way, the other day, SportsCenter posted some bullshit
About Russ.
about Russ passing Gary Payton for franchise. Nah, man. That doesn't fly over here. Not at BTST.
Come on, man.
It is crazy though. In 10 years,
Yeah.
Russell's already passed GP.
That is
for
crazy.
points.
But
But
why would, like, if you're at OKC, if you're a member of the organization, a fan, whatever, why do you even want that shared history?
right.
Like,
I
why?
think it just has to be that way with
For
like,
now, I
franchise.
guess.
Yeah.
As of now, until or if we ever get something back,
But I know Seattle fans got mad at that. But like, even if I was an OKC fan, I'd be like,
I'd be like,
We don't
nah,
want that.
man.
yeah.
We don't know. We never cheered for those
I'd
guys.
be like, nah, do you? It's OKC. It's all good. Like, man, it's all right.
Not all good.
But yeah, MVP is
Greed free. Greed
It's
free.
gonna be, you know, yeah. We have probably the 3 top candidates right now. The Warrior guys are definitely up there.
If you don't think it's greed free, this is blasphemous.
All right, Nick, right?
I was going a little Stephen A. But
Yeah, the Warrior guys, Jokic, Embiid, those guys, they'll give some votes.
The Warriors should just get a team MVP every year. Just give them. Well, I guess they do. They get a ring every year.
yeah, yeah. If the Thunder get Roberson back, that'll be a hell of a defensive front.
All right, and they just
Yep,
signed
they signed
Marquise
Morris.
Morris.
The 2 league leaders in steals, plus maybe one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA,
Yeah.
as your 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right? And
Plus,
then you
like
got
another guy like in
Ferguson,
Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy
Grant, and
Grant.
then you got Adams.
That's a great defense.
Muscle.
Hey, but I will say,
And they can all switch.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of, he gets hated on so much, but, props to Russ for kind of, passing the torch, so to speak. Allowing PG to, he's still shooting, I think it was 43% from the field, 24 from 3, and 65 from the free throw line. Those are like career lows in every single shooting stat. But at the same time, he leads the leagues in assists, and PG, Jeremy Grant, Ferguson, and Steven Adams are all having career years offensively.
But Russ is selfish.
Right.
Right.
And guys,
Is PG taking more field goal attempts than Russ? That was always the thing, remember? Like, OKC will never win because Russ shoots more times than Kevin Durant.
I would, if I was to, I didn't look at the stats. If I was to guess, yeah,
That's PG, yeah.
You think Paul George is averaging more shots?
more shots, yeah.
per game?
Because KD always did, but Russ would take shots when it mattered. But that's impressive for Russ, man, to really adapt his game. So that was the thing, is like, when PG went there, Melo was there too, but when he went there, PG's like, oh man, PG will be number 2, right? He'll be a perfect number 2 because he's always been number 1 for a above average team. But now he could be number 2 and maybe make a team really good. But it's funny how the transition is, Russ is still kind of like the heart of the team, but PG's kind of transitioned to like the number 1 option.
Right.
In a way, even though he's kind of like was the number 2.
How many shots per game was Paul George taking?
Well, I just hit his threes. He was at 10 threes a game.
So Westbrook is taking 19.7 shots per game.
Well, I think PG's shooting 20.
And he shoots
41.
41.7%.
Oh, it's 41, not 43. Okay.
Damn. That's a rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys let us know what you think.
I don't know, because I'm sure we've talked about somebody that,
If you got any Sixer fans out there, Raptor fans,
Warrior fans.
They don't have any of those.
Fans.
No.
I'm the only Warrior fan that used to be.
Warrior fans, they just,
Day
listen to,
one.
they just listen to Ethan Strauss.
I never doubted them.
Oh my God, Ethan Scott.
Yeah.
But man, that about does it today, you guys. Can't, like I said, I say every podcast, every video, thank you so much for your love and support. We have a lot of shit coming up. We got a UW pod coming up. We got videos that are, being produced and edited and all that jazz that we'll put out soon. We
got shirts for sale. We got hoodies coming.
We have shirts, we got hoodies. Man, we're trying to really do our thing and really expand. So,
Support your local podcast.
right.
James Harden for MVP.
We got Giannis, Harden, PG. So, but thank you. Follow us, like us, and we appreciate you guys. All right, take care.